I had to get out of there and get the kids away from him and get myself away from him for a little bit. And my son goes, Daddy hates you. Guys,
Imagine being married to a man that treats you very bad, like really, really bad, to the extent that your son have to tell you that mommy, daddy hates you. Like that essence that your son has to see the hate and had to tell you that mommy, daddy hates you. That's the worst of it. This woman is sharing her story time of her breakup story, how she and her husband were no longer together, what happened, and all of that. And she's also advising younger women or women that have not gotten married or have kids not to do it. Okay, so let's watch our story time together. It's about 10 minutes, then we'll come back and talk about it.
don't get married, don't have children. I have a story for you. I was married for 14 years to my best friend in the whole wide world. We toured the country together. I was a drummer, he was a vocalist and guitarist, and we had a great life. Any mutual friends of ours, even here on TikTok, I know there are some, thought we were going to be together forever. Like, he was the humblest, sweetest, kindest man. He's literally given the shirt off his back to homeless people. Like, I loved this man so much. He was so wonderful until he changed. And boy, did he change. So fast forward, we're living our best life. It's wonderful. I decide, you know what? It's time to have kids. I'm 30 years old. It's time to have children. I think we were 10, 11 years in to our marriage, and things were going really well. We were stable. And I was like, hey, it's now or never. So we had our first child, my son, and we weren't aware he had autism at all. Like, he wasn't showing really any of the developmental signs or anything. The only thing he showed was standing on his tippy toes. That was the only symptom that we knew of. But we thought maybe he's just quirky. Anyways, my son had some behavioral issues, and I didn't even know. I had no idea until later, but now I look back on it. I don't know what neurotypical looks like at this point. I have 2 autistic kids, so I have no idea. Anyways, my husband started getting stressed out, and understandably, and I was trying to be supportive, etc. And things kind of calmed down. We were settled. We had a home and a bunch of stuff, and decided to have another child. And when I was pregnant with her, that's when everything went downhill. He started treating me really bad, like cussing me out, slamming doors, slamming cabinets, throwing things, throwing stuff at me. And I was like, this can't be happening. I am pregnant. What is going on with you? Like, I pled for him to go to the therapist. I was like, I'll support you in whatever you want to do, as long as you get happy again and become the husband I married again, because who are you? Anyways, one day I was sitting there on my phone because I was dissociating. I was like, oh God, he's coming home. I started developing an anxiety disorder because when he would, close to the time he would come home, all this anxiety would build up, and I'm like, oh God, oh God, oh God. And I didn't know it yet at the time, but I would grab my phone and I'd just disassociate, so I didn't have to think about that he's gonna come in and slam doors and throw things and scream and cuss, and it affected my son a lot, and me, of course. And I was pregnant, so it was no bueno for all of us. Anyways, he comes in, he's of course screaming, cussing, slamming doors, saying how horrible his life is, and I'm just like sitting there going, and at this point I'd gained a bunch of weight, and I'm pregnant, and I'm not feeling like moving much, so I would just disassociate on my phone, and he would yell at me for being on my phone and not spending time with him. And I'm just like, I've been on my feet all day, they're swollen, I hurt, and I just want to relax right now. Anyway, fast forward, my daughter is born, and it's still just as bad. I'm feeding my daughter at the time, and I'm watching my phone because feeding takes a while, if you're doing it the chest way. I don't know if I could say the B word. Anyway, I'm just feeding her, and I'm on my phone because it takes a while. I'm just like, and he's in a mood, so I'm disassociating again. And he starts screaming at me, and I'm just like, I totally ignore him. I gray rock the shit out of him. I'm just tired at this point. I'm sick of it. I'm over it. Exhausted. So my son's sitting there. He's going, Daddy, Daddy, I want some food, right? And then he looks at me and goes, well, didn't you hear him? And I was like, didn't you hear him? He asked you for food. Like, I'm feeding our daughter right now. And then he says the craziest thing I would never expect. He says, well, if you would just yell at me more and get angry, then I might do what you say. What the? Like, that turned my whole brain upside down. I'm like, so confused. I was like, how can you gaslight me into, like, being the bad guy in this situation? Like, I am responsible for your own behavior? No. And I straight up told him that I'm not responsible for your behavior. Like, I'm not going to be a different person and scream at you just because you feel like being someone who is negative and screaming. That's not how marriages work. This is not normal. So I basically tell him that, and then he's just like, whatever, and then he leaves. And I'm just like, whoa, that was one of the wake-up calls. And I'm just like, this is a very, very odd behavior. And then one day he's screaming at me, cussing me out, calling me a B word, telling me F you, get out of my life, because I asked him to take the trash out. And I have this on video. Like, I have a lot of stuff on video because he started acting really weird and scary and singing about me and stuff. So I wanted to get it on video in case anything ever happened to me. That's how scary it was. Okay. I think I got video of him barking at a car. I've got video of him throwing the vacuum cleaner, him breaking stuff, screaming, singing about me. Yeah, I've got a bunch of stuff. And I've got video of him eating this big steak dinner, and he's like, F her, I effing hate her, blah, blah, blah. And it's just like, you're eating my dinner, bro, that I made out of love for you. And I just want to be in a happy married life. And anyways, after a big fight, it's not even really a fight, it's just me, like, disassociating him screaming at me, okay? Because I asked him to take the trash out, and I was really kind about it. Anyways, I'm driving to my parents' house because I had to get out of there and get the kids away from him and get myself away from him for a little bit. And my son goes, Daddy hates you, from the back seat. And that was the moment I knew I have to get a divorce. Like, I can't be in this situation anymore. And it's funny because my ex-husband sat me down one day and he was like, I don't think we should be married anymore. And I was like, okay. And he got so mad because I said okay. And I was like, all right, like, you know, if you don't want to be married to me anymore, I understand, and we don't have to be married. It's okay. Like, I even told him, like, we can stay friends and stuff. Like, it doesn't have to be a big deal. But then after that, he just screamed and then left for like 2 weeks to sleep in his car. And then, he was telling people that I kicked him out when he voluntarily left. Make that make sense. He can't take accountability for crap. So yeah, that's what I've learned. Anyways, after that, I went to the police department because things were starting to get out of hand. He's, really scary. And he screamed in my face one day, and I went to the police department, and I was having a panic attack and stuff. And then I just went to the cops, and I was like, hey, I need to break up with this man, and I want you on backup, Well, needless to say, he took my daughter hostage, basically. Wouldn't let her go with me. And because he was like irate, he was actually coming at the cop like like this. And that was really scary. I'm like, oh shoot, he's gonna end up getting, you know what I mean? And my whole family was there watching this. And finally he gave up my daughter, and the cop said, go get a restraining order now. So I went, got a restraining order, and he wasn't able to, come back. Oh, also, we were separated for a while, and I was taking care of this man. He wasn't paying rent for months, okay? And we were split up. And he was just laying on the couch all day long for 3 months and not pitching in. So I had to add that. And he was like mentally and emotionally abusing me the entire time. And he hasn't seen his kids now in just about 3.5 years or so. He is also in arrears about $8,000. He hasn't been paying his child support. He had his wages garnished, but he keeps switching jobs to try and get away from paying, or he just can't keep a job. I don't know which one. He's super terrible on phone calls. He does do phone visitation, and a lot of times he would be disrespectful, talk to me through the kids, and just emotionally, mentally abusive. He's very spiritually manipulative. He says he's a shaman and not to cut their hair because it's their power and stuff like this. So there's a lot to it. I mean, I can expand upon that, but I'm running out of time. But yeah, 14 years down the drain, don't get married, don't have kids with these men. They change. Okay. Please learn from my mistake, and don't ever, just protect your peace. Don't get with these men. They ain't worth shit. They're not responsible, and they don't hold themselves to account. They're not accountable for anything. They'll just blame you. He still blames me, by the way. He still tells people I kicked him out. That's crazy. Anyway, I hope you all have a good day, and thanks for listening. Bye.
Men always like the idea of having family, but they never want to be involved in keeping them. I feel like he started listening to some red pill content, or some people started advising him, or probably he's going through some things because the sudden change after the second children, or maybe he doesn't actually want children and he's done with the relationship. Sometimes men actually used to say, "Oh, I want to have four children, I want to have a large family." But once the kids start coming in, kids actually change dynamics of relationship. Always change the dynamics of relationship. If you and your partner are like this, have a child with your partner, then you understand the difference. There's always going to be a difference, right? So some of them do not handle it very well. Some of them it gets into their head because they don't even want to have children to start with. In fact, they don't want to be involved in the whole situation. Not to talk of you having autistic children already too, and now you're currently pregnant with the third one. Another thing that can make him act like that is he has already found somebody else, or he's done, he's tired. And you know when men are tired of relationship, especially marriage, they do not leave. They don't want to go. Even if they found another woman that they fall in love with, they will not go. They're going to push you to the extent that you are the one that is going to push them out, or you are the one that is going to leave. That's exactly what they do. They do not want to go because they don't want to look like the bad guy. So they always want to do the right thing in their own head, and they just treat you anyhow. Then you start, they start triggering you, and you start, showing them who you are as well. With that, you guys are no longer together and all of that. And I feel like they always do this because they're afraid of being painted the bad guy. The long and short of it is that she's the one taking care of the three kids. He doesn't want to see them. He doesn't even care. He's even owing child support. So she's the one taking care of the three kids. This all boils down to be careful who you have children with. Don't just get pregnant because you're married. After you have one or two, calm down before you have another one. Because at the end of the day, the person that you think that is all that good to you now later on can change. In that video, I saw a comment section of somebody say, "Oh, you should not generalize it that it's all men. I've been married for the past 23 years, and my man is this, my man is that, is perfect husband and father, and all of that." Okay, it might even be the next 24 years now, there's going to be issue. The thing is, you don't even know. Some people have been married to their husband for the past 10 years and they're coming now to tell us their breakup story, what happened, and all of that. The thing is, you don't even know. But having kids back to back because you feel like everything is all good now, you might end up regretting later. You might end up being the one taking care of those children later on. I feel like getting married is way better than having kids with that person, because having kids with that person is going to be with you for a very long time. But marriage, you guys can go your separate ways without having children. And once children is already involved in marriage or involved in relationship, both of you are already involved together for a long time. Even if you're tired of each other, even if you're broken up, both of you will still want to communicate with each other because kids are involved. And the thing is, it looks like he just changed all of a sudden. For me, I feel like that is who he is. He has just been hiding it, and the thing just got triggered after having children or staying with him for a long time. I don't think that the behavior just came all of a sudden. It's already in him. He was just hiding it. Or number one, probably was tired and he wanted to leave. He was tired of the whole responsibility of having so many children, and the family and man and all of that. Probably was tired of that responsibility and started acting out so that you can let him go. Now he's gone. He doesn't want to even see the kids. He doesn't want to even, come and hang out with the kids or anything. He's not even paying child support, so he doesn't want to be responsible as a father. Anyway, you guys, what's your take on this breakup story? Let's have conversation down in the comment section respectfully. As always, your girl Mariah Davis, and thank you guys so much for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed this one. Please like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye, guys.